The service code 15721 in your Bobcat means rail pressure control fault. This means that the fuel rail has problems and your machine may just shut down and not start, or may work for several minutes and then shut down and need a restart. There are several things that may cause this problem in Bobcat machines, but I will start with some less expensive issues. First of all, it makes sense to check if the fuel cap is properly installed. Modern diesel engines require proper air pressure in the system, and if there are issues with the air leak or vacuum, this may cause fuel pressure anomalies. Also, the fuel filter may cause this code, along with several other service codes. It may get clogged over time, or the water separator may be full of water. You may try draining water first, but the water sensor will have another service code, so the problem is most likely in the clogged filter. Unfortunately, the fuel filters are sealed in Bobcat loaders and they come as an assembly along with the new water separator sensor. Various Bobcat generations will have different requirements for regular fuel filter replacement. For example, the S750 loader has a fuel filter change interval of 250 hours or 12 months, so make sure the filter is okay. Then if the engine doesn't start at all and you see this code, this may be a pretty common problem with the fuel pickup tube. The tube gets broken or disconnected and your machine just can't get the fuel out of the tank. The repair is pretty straightforward. You will need the new pickup tube, but the problem is that working in that area is very hard and you will want an experienced mechanic to do this job for you. Also, the low pressure fuel pump may cause this code, but they are very reliable in Bobcat machines, so it's most likely not the culprit of your problem. Also, your Bobcat has a fuel tank vent filter. The average replacement interval for this one is 1000 hours or 12 months, and if it gets clogged, you will have anomalies with fuel pressure. Fortunately, it's not expensive and not hard to replace. One more possible culprit is summer diesel fuel under low temperatures. The problem is that summer fuel will turn to a gel substance and will require a lot of cleaning if it gets under freezing temperatures, but I believe this is common knowledge, so I won't focus on that much. Finally, there are two mechanical issues in the fuel supply system that can cause this code. On your high pressure fuel pump, you have a valve inlet meter that is often referred to as a suction control valve. This unit controls the amount of fuel that passes to the injectors, and this valve is actually responsible for the code we are talking about. Sometimes, if the machine is still working fine, but you see this code, the valve itself may require replacement. Of course, you will want to inspect the connector first and make sure the valve is properly connected to the system. The bad news is that the valve is quite expensive. The good news is that this part is pretty easy to replace. Finally, a clogged or broken fuel injector may cause this code. Sometimes they may be cleaned with professional equipment, but if the injectors keep causing problems, they will require replacement. Also, when you replace the injectors, the pipes connecting them to the system and the O-rings on them will have to be replaced too. Unfortunately, this is quite an expensive repair.